Hi everyone. For our presentation, it's about the Beijing house price classifier. Well, in this presentation, we try to find out the important factors that will influence the final house price, and we use different classifiers to test our hypothesis. The whole presentation will be divided into 5 parts. The first one is the area of interest. We'll discuss about what we want to do and why we want to do it. The second one is the data set. I will show you how the data sets will look like and what we have done in the pre-processing part. And the third one is data explorations. Well, we use traditional data analysis skills, make several visualizations, and we found some simple rules, and we will try to improve it in the following part. And the fourth one is the classifiers and knowledge. We will show the results of different classifiers and what we learn from the classifiers. And then it's a final conclusion. For the area of interest part, I'll provide you some background information of the house price real estate market in China. So in China, the house price is increasing dramatically these years. And as we know that the house price is influenced by many factors rather than spatial factors. For example, the location, square, floor, the district, also how many living room, bathroom in the house, or the apartment. And the third one is that the apartment are good investment to fight against the inflation rate and make money. So in China, many people, although they have their own house for living, but they will still trying to buy some other houses and apartments so that they can sell them when the price goes high. So for the objectives of this study, we try to figure out the influence of different factors, for example, square, floor, year, metro, district, building type, whether it's a house or apartment, and how will they influence the price. Or in other words, we want to try to figure out the relations between those factors and the final house price. And we will try to give an order of which one has the greatest influence to the price and which ones have little influence to the price. The data set is from Kaggle, which is an open source data set and includes the house price data from 2011 to 2017. So those data comes from Lianjia, which is one of the most popular house trade platforms in China. And this data set has about 297,000 instances and 21 attributes. So all of the 21 attributes are listed in the left-hand side in the blue box, which 7 of them are removed because those are no meaning when we do the further analysis on this data side. So especially for the URL ID or city ID, those are just the numbers that represent the different trees. For the pre-processing part, first we remove the none values and empty values, as well as the special characters from each attribute. And several attributes are not having same data types, which half of them are string, half of them are numeric values, and we clean them and modify all the data types for each attribute. And then we add 2 attributes, year and month, which we divide the trade time into 2 attributes, which we believe that the year and month has different influence on the final house price. And then we manually classify the house price to different price ranges for easier classify, and we finally have 7 ranges, and 16 attributes are left after all of the pre-processing, and those attributes are listed in this table.
Before we try different classifiers in Weka, we want to dig into the dataset and know it better. Therefore, we did some data explorations. Note that here the housing prices are in the unit of yuan per square meter. First is the housing price distribution of each year. In this graph, we can see that the housing prices are all skewed normal distributed over the years, and from 2011 to 2017, the distributions tend to be more scattered with longer tail and lower peak as time goes by. The graph actually shows the trend of change in housing price. The leftward shift to peak shows that the unit housing prices are increasing from the overall perspective, while the flatter shape shows that the prices are distributed more dispersely. The second is the housing price changing over years. Generally, the housing prices increase with year. Note that from October 2016 to March 2017, the housing prices were particularly high, and it's because by early 2016, the Chinese government introduced a series of measures to increase property purchases, including lower taxes on home sales, limiting land sales for new developed projects, and the third is a series of mortgage down payment reductions. Also note that after April 2017, the rising trend starts to decrease, and this is because Beijing municipal government released a strict property purchasing limitations to avoid the situation that many wealthy people try to buy multiple properties and sell it for profit. Therefore, the demand started to decrease a little bit, and so do the housing price. The third one is the housing price changing over month during each year. There is no obvious uniform trend for all years. For year 2012, 13, and 16, the prices rise with month. For year 11, 14, and 17, the prices are rather fluctuating with peak at July, April, March, and April respectively. Then we want to see the influence of some specific attributes on housing price. First is the influence of subway station on housing price. By common sense, we assume that in metropolitans, whether a house is close to a subway station or not greatly influences its price, since the existence of a subway station provides travel convenience for residents. Here we plot out the housing price with or without subway stations nearby throughout the months from 2011 to 17, and we found that this assumption is true. From the box plot shown in the slide, in early 2011, the houses with subway nearby have much higher median unit prices than the ones without. After that, the difference between them is first relatively small, and then growing larger as time goes by. Then is the influence of elevator on housing price. Since Beijing is a densely populated city, there are more and more high-rise buildings to accommodate the large residential demand. And we assume that there is also a trend that those houses with elevators have higher unit price. We plot out the housing price with or without elevators equipped throughout the months from 2011 to 2017, and we found that the assumption is also true. But unlike the influence of subway station, the difference between the unit price of houses with and without elevators is rather stable throughout the years.
We made a simple hypothesis, based on our experience, that generally people will focus on several factors so that will finally determine the value of an apartment or a house. And here, square, floor, elevator, district, and subway, we think those are the 5 most important factors, and we will try to find out whether this hypothesis is true in the following analysis.
In this part, we try different classifiers in Weka, and the results are shown in this table. The bar chart shows the 7 classes with different price range. In 0R, all the data are classified into Group D with dark green colors in the bar chart, where the price is between $4,500 to $6,000. Although this group contains the most instances than others, it's still lower than even a quarter, leading to low accuracy of 0R classifier. The accuracy in 1R naive Bayes and logistic classifiers are not good, lower than 40%. The logistic classifier is more appropriate in the binary attributes, but most of our attributes are numerical. The tree classifier have more better performance, and that may be because of its classify process. The process of tree making classifications is first calculating the information entropy of each attribute. This entropy reflects which attribute have the most influence on the final classification. The attribute with highest entropy will be the root of the tree, then the next level node, and finally to the leaves. And in this process, one attribute may occur several times when making classification. For example, the year of tree time is before 2015, then the price may be classified as lower than $10,000. But the next node might be whether the house is higher than 20 floors, which the price may then goes to the range of $5,000 to $8,000. Then the next node goes to whether the tree time is before 2012, and it narrows down the price to $45,000 to $6,000. And this process is much closer to the customer's thinking logic. Since the most classifiers have low accuracy, our group guess this low accuracy may be due to the fuzzy boundary of each class. In order to clearly understand the fuzzy boundary, here we give an example for J48 classifier. And if you look at the confusion matrix, the diagonal, which is the correct instance, it always be the major part of each group except group C and I. And since the group I have only several instances, so here we consider group C to do the further explanation. And most of the original cases in group C are classified into group B and E, which have the adjacent price range to group C. And the reason of that might be the price range. The price range is divided manually so that the boundary between the adjacent groups may not be reasonable. For example, two cases with similar attributes may have close price such as 4999 and 5001. But due to the manually classification, these two cases are divided into different groups. Therefore, that may lead to the error when we use Vicker to do the classify. In order to improve the performance of Vicker classifier, we use stacking method with the random forest classifier as the mental classifier, and the J48 logistic, naive Bayes, and 1R classifier as the second level classifier. And then we compare the result with the random forest, which is the best classifier in our previous analysis. But the tricky part is that the accuracy in this configuration is decreased. So maybe the random forest is not appropriate to be the mental classifier. So we tried some other classifiers as the mental, and the best one is when we change the mental classifiers into the logistic. But actually this accuracy rate does not improve significantly, so that the stacking method may not be a good choice in our analysis. Next, we do the attribute analysis. The main idea of this part is to remove the attributes which have no influence on even have negative impact on our classification, and we want to find the main attribute which contributes more in the classification. So this figure is the trunk of the tree in J48 classifiers. From this, we can find the importance of each attribute. The year, district, month, square, light ratio, floor, and the construction time are the important attributes in the top rank. So we tried to remove 6 attributes which are shown in this figure on the left side, and the accuracy improved after we do this operation. And this result is beyond our expectation. So here are the 7 attributes we finally conclude, and the accuracy based on these attributes remains the same level compared with the 15 attributes that we used in the beginning.
Finally, for the conclusion, well, we tried 5 classifiers including 1R, naive Bayes, J48, logistics, and random forest. And at last, we used stacking to test whether they work fine. And among them, tree performs best with an accuracy around 60%. So to determine whether our hypothesis can be accepted, we try to remove the attributes and then rerun the classifier to see whether those factors are important, and they will decrease the final accuracy. And based on our previous analysis, we found out that the final important factors are 7, which listed on the right-hand side. However, beyond our expectations, subway and elevator seems has no much importance on classification. For example, when we remove the subway and elevator, the accuracy only decreased around 1.5%, but however, 7% accuracy will decrease due to the removing of months. So it's common to understand that those factors, which are time and spatial factors, for example, year, month, construction times, the time of the trade will influence the house price, and also the construction times reflect the quality of the house. For example, if because of the COVID-19, people stay at home and it's really hard to sell the apartments, and the price goes down a lot. And the other factors like district, which determines the location of the house, and also how much room the house has. And also, no matter for future living or investment, the location is important, which if the apartment has a large room and lower level with short distance to the recreation center, shopping center, or education center, it's really popular for the buyers of the house.